Hiya. So, been a busy few old days, hasn't it? Donald Trump today has essentially declared martial law in America, and he's calling in the heavily militarised American police force into all the cities to disband the protests, righteous protests at the murder of George Floyd by the Minneapolis police. Now, this is also in conjunction with Trump yesterday tweeting, the United States will be designating Antifa as a terrorist organisation. I think these things that have been going on this over the past few days are the US sort of dropping all pretense of being the land of the free or whatever. Never was, but all the pretense is sort of wearing away as it has been doing throughout the entire Trump presidency, as he isn't so much more egregious than previous presidents. Like George Bush started the war in Iraq, Barack Obama took 2 wars, turned them into 7. Donald Trump is merely a continuation of a long string of murderous, evil bastards that that become American president. So there we go. The also the right wing sort of dropping the entire pretense of their free speech angle that they always go on about. That it was pretty plain to anyone with a brain that they didn't believe in that, but now they've sort of officially, properly dropped it. If you're against our government, then we will classify you as a terrorist. Doesn't really scream free speech to me. But there we go. Sort of the outright declaration, really, of Trump and the US as a whole. What a lot of people would have argued for a long time, but sort of the outright declaration that, this is a fascist country. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, Antifa is just short for anti-fascism. So if you're against anti-fascism, then logically, you are a fascist. No two ways about that, really. Not really very difficult to understand. So, if you're one of these right wingers who loves to bleat on about Second World War and how the granddad did whatever, you wouldn't be on your granddad's side, would you? If you if you're the one who's having a go at the anti-fascists, Darren from fucking Kidderminster or wherever you're from, fucking get it in your heads, you sad right wing bastards. Anyway, so Dan Crenshaw here, Texas congressman and fascist pirate, says in his tweet, long overdue, Antifa has been engaging in organised and deliberate violence for years. Marxists have taken full advantage of the situation. If fucking only, Dan. If fucking only they had. Hopefully we will. And no need for the pointless election in November between 2 rapists. We'll just have hopefully power to the comrades over there in Washington DC. Hope you get the job done, lads. And they have to be brought to justice. Their behaviour this week is inexcusable. Now, that last sentence sums it up all perfectly. I think the entire crux of not only the sort of anti-protest thing from the far right of American politics and world politics, but also sums up perfectly within that that the right wing as a whole, their strata of beliefs, cares more about property than it does human life and human rights. So, yeah, very in keeping with the fascist tradition as a whole there. Despicable bastards. Also, there is no organisation such as Antifa. It's just people who want to protect the communities, especially minority communities, from fascist white supremacist kind of movements that may be marching through there or demonstrating in usual circumstances. And it's that they're there to stop those people coming to harm. As Cornel West said, that there was a protest he was at where they would in all likelihood have been killed if it wasn't for the kind of black bloc tactics of the anti-fascist protesters that were there. Also, to describe the protesters as Marxists is as if that's in some way disqualifying, that, you know, they hold a certain political belief, therefore they're not allowed to be fucking pissed off with the police murdering someone. I think it's a human reaction. If you're not angry at it, there's something fucking wrong with you. Basically, to describe all the protesters as Marxists in the sort of dismissive way shows sort of how out of touch the American political establishment is, how far removed from reality that they are. You know, these people aren't all raving Marxists who can quote Das Kapital from page number and remember all the footnotes and endlessly bang on about dialectical materialism, or wear socialist Tajikistan t-shirts like this one. Come on, the Tajik lads. These are people, you know, especially black people who've had enough of being abused, brutalised by the police and the system in general, and in general working people who've had enough of being stolen from, worked to death and endlessly fucked over by the elites. If you can't see that, you know, these protests are justified, righteous anger at a global system built on exploitation of the poor and the working class in general, then you are a moron. Sorry to break that to you. There we go. So, for such morons, for the people annoyed at the protesters, or Antifa, are all, without exception, bootlicking authoritarian cowards whose lives are destined forever to being the bitches of the wealthy elites and the power structure of capitalism. So fuck yous. Yeah. Being Antifa, being anti-fascists is your duty as a human being, really. There's no other way around that. If you're not an anti-fascist, you're the problem. So, yeah, get on board. Vulture authority. Antifa partisans forever. We have a song coming that's called Antifa Partisan. It's written a long time before this, but yeah, hopefully that'll be out at some point. Give us a like, a subscribe, all that shite. Try and do a few more videos this week on whatnot, this and that. That is, of course, if Donald Trump doesn't end the world by nuking California or something like that. So, there we go.